Okay. So going into this, right? We just a quick recap everything we've discussed so far in the lane. Right? I walk up to the wave. Now at this point, I can Q you. Right? This much we understand.
Yeah.
This minion is here. You don't have to walk here. You don't have to stand here. You don't have to stand so deep. You can stand here. You're going to lose level 2 against me regardless. You have to just give it. You
So just solve it. Salvage.
Yes, exactly. Just salvage. Just salvage as much as possible, right?
Okay.
Right, now here you use your Q, and I have my Q coming back up soon. Also, you should not use Q there. You can auto attack this. My Q is still on cooldown.
Yeah, I think I was scared of my minions taking it.
I understand that you're not aware of like, oh, Mordekaiser maybe is Q back up, so that's why you Q and you try to get away, but I would still hit you with Q here. And now here, what you must do is you cannot move from this point to this point. Right, so look at how you play the lane out. So you should have been able to get that without getting Q'd by me. Now this minion is here, right? Playing the lane in an angle like this is useless against Mordekaiser Q. Right?
Okay, yeah.
Right? Because I can just Q you. It doesn't matter if you stand in this location, doesn't matter if you stand in this location, doesn't matter if you stand in this location. I'm going to regardless be able to Q you. This comes back with the thing where if I'm standing in this X here, my Q is this range. If I'm standing at the blue X here, my Q is this range, which means that now again, the basis of what we're talking about is spacing my Q. Now here, instead of moving in an angle like this, move in an angle like this. Because what this allows you to do is it spaces the Q. If I move up, the Q is this way, A spaces that. If I move back, B spaces that. But if you move like this, it doesn't achieve anything.
Okay, gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the like main things that I had problems with when I was like laning out was the fact that like it's like you're trying to make me do the correct play, right? And in my head, the correct play is like the winning play. But in this lane, the correct play is like the least losing play.
Yes.
I guess.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay, the Q goes off again. Now it's like, okay, well, what can we do? Right, my Q is on cooldown. When you're laning, always be aware of what cooldowns are being used.
Yeah.
Always. Cooldown is very important. You must always be aware of what cooldowns are being used. Okay, so same concept, essentially. And now again, notice what I'm doing. Right? Like, I know you want these minions, you're not allowed to take them. You must just space, you just space over here. Right?
Okay.
I'm looking, because like when you do this, this is really poor. You should concede the lane. You can stand here to get XP, but that's about it. You cannot walk this deep in the lane against Mordekaiser.
I think a lot of the I had a lot of bad ideas that made me play the lane very poorly as well, like even more poorly than like I might be capable of at that stage. And I think one of them was like you talked about baiting abilities, so I was focusing so much on like range, except I didn't really know what my kept back.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah, you cannot walk up here. Once I'm level 2, the lane must be conceded. Right?
Yeah.
Now here I'm on 100 something ping, so I'm not having my mechanics are not going to be great, and my skill shots are going to miss sometimes. But here I will just EQ auto you. Now I don't do it immediately because my ping is terrible. It was really uncomfortable playing. But here I will E you. I will then use Q at the same time, and then I will auto you at the same time. Then I'll take these minions and I'll pull them up over here, and then I'll wrap back around and I'll continue to farm the wave. Okay. Then that was
I'm just wondering, Are you like purposefully repositioning the casters now, or is that just happening as a result of you going in the bush for?
Well, if I hit you with EQ auto, for example, and I proc these minions aggression, and I move it up here, and then I wrap around, these minions pull up, which allows the third wave to then move up and lock here, and then I can crash the entire thing with my next E.
Okay.
Right?
I don't have the.
Okay, that's a little overwhelming right now. It doesn't matter. The point is, I can pull the casters to crash the next wave a little bit smoother. Now here, of course, my ping is awful. It's awful. I cannot play the lane, right? But if I use my E, and I use Q at the same time, now like I don't know what's going on here. I should have played this better. Like this should have been a bit cleaner, right? Like I could have E'd you from here. I could have used my Q, and then I could have auto'd you. I still do it, but like I don't do it as cleanly, right? And then my passive goes off, so then I end up just aggroing the minions or whatever, which is fine. And now I'm just crashing the wave, right?
Okay.
And now here, like I don't want to recall because I only have 200 gold. Now here again, right? Like now the lane becomes a little bit awkward for you to play. You cannot play the lane here at this point. Now what you must do is you have to position yourself again from point A to point B, in and out, and try to get these minions under the tower. Okay. You have to now give up certain amounts of HP to gain minions, and then regen it with like your shield.
Yeah, but I have a bit of a question now. Since you're saying that the lane is unplayable now, right? Is that just because of the health?
Yeah, it's because of the health HP. Also, I'm not gonna miss anything. So see this?
Yeah.
I E you because I know you're going for this minion. Right? So now for you it's like really like here I should Q. Now again, I am not a good I'm not a Mordekaiser player. I see the issues that when I play the champion, of course, this is like my first time playing it in I don't play it. I've never played it in a ranked game. So here I would use Q and I would use auto again.
Yeah. I
would proc the aggression from this cannon, which I don't care about, right? Because I have full HP and you don't. And then I will proc the minion aggression from these melees, which again I don't care about. And then I'm gonna move the lane down. Or I just move the lane up and I keep farming or whatever, right? Or I just, you know, I would ideally just keep crashing the wave so that I would take a recall in the next wave, but yeah. Okay?
Okay.
So here, what I'm trying to do now is my goal your goal in the lane is you're doomed, right? Now, of course, I can recall here, but alternatively, I could stay in the lane and keep harassing you because you're low HP. But if you were a little bit higher HP, and let's say the jungler is moving forward and I don't have any form of like, there's no way I can put you in lethal range to kill you, then what I would do is I would just try to get an advantage through itemizations and I would just hard auto the wave. Right? And then what I would do is I would wait for my E to come back up, which, I mean, to be fair, I can probably crash it before it comes back up. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to crash the wave and I'm going to recall. Then this cannon wave will end up, it'll be thrown into you and then, you know, you have to try to kill it, etc. Okay? Ideally, I want to build up the waves, right? Like I want to build the waves, but I didn't do that. But it doesn't really matter. Okay.
Okay.
So like here at this point, because you can't walk up, I'm level 3, level 2. I'm gonna crash the wave and I can recall. Okay. Now here you're still playing the lane really dangerously, and again you're making movements that are not respective of the angle of the lane, right? So like instead of playing it like this, you're playing the lane like this. And this is still really poor. Because the second I'm level 3, which I am now, I can hit you with E, and then I can immediately use my, well, I don't have it available at the moment, but let me see if I did earlier. Hold on, I'm going to have it in a second. So right here, you're in a lot of trouble. You cannot move up this deep in the lane, right? Because back then I didn't have my Q, of course, but now I do. So at this point, I just use EQ auto W, and then I just, you know, now you're like really in danger. Right? I can eventually kill you on next rotation. Now, of course, I miss it, but it's irrelevant, right? And now here I should just, like, again, I can choose to recall if you're higher HP, but because you're already low HP, there's no reason for me to recall because I've already gained an advantage against you. Right? The purpose to recall here is to get an itemization advantage, which eventually will lead me to a lane advantage through like HP trades and etc. Right? But here, because I already have an advantage and I want to continue to make you as uncomfortable in the lane as possible, I'm going to stay in the lane and I have no reason to recall. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so it's stuff like this. And then eventually in the lane, because you weren't punishing me, I had to purposely make mistakes to see if you would do anything. But the biggest takeaway here is for you to start understanding that you have to be conscious of when I use a cooldown. Once I've used a cooldown, you don't have to do anything about it necessarily yet, because when you're learning the game, it doesn't really matter what you do. It just matters about what your thoughts are, what your thought processes are. Like, you can go into a lane, and this is like actively practicing something, right? It's like Mordekaiser uses Q, okay, well, Mord Q is down. Mordekaiser uses W, okay, Mord W is down now, right? Just be aware of it. It doesn't mean you have to do anything about it, not yet, because we're playing in very low elo. But eventually, yes, you want to eventually start doing stuff with those cooldowns. But here, you have to first be conscious about it, okay?
Okay.
Any questions about anything?
Yeah, so if I get pushed under tower, which I will be, I suppose, in pretty much all matchups like that.
Not all. Well, yeah, like this, yes. Against
Yeah,
Mordekaiser, there's not much you can do.
Yeah. Is it still just the game of trying to get as much CS and Qs? Is that essentially just laning phase?
Well, that goes back to earlier what I said, right? You have to be aware of what my cooldowns are. When I use an ability, you have to be like, okay, this ability has been used. What can I do with it?
Okay.
Remember when I used, like, I purposely made a mistake in the lane for you to punish me, right? So it got like you have like 9 CS against me right now, right, or something like that. It's obnoxiously low. So at this point, I knew the lane is over, but now I want you to start practicing these things. So I end up, now here at this point in the lane, I stop hitting you, right? I stop purposely, like here I could have recalled, right? Where the hell is it? I could have recalled here, but I stay in the lane. The reason I stay in the lane is because I need you to punish me or something, right? We want to practice. Yeah. But here, ideally, what I would do is I would just reset and I would come back with a better economical advantage against you, right? Now here, there was a point in the lane that I told you to jump on me, to go on me. And I purposely used Q. So at this point, I'm playing like an idiot so that you can actually do something, right?
Yeah.
So, like, why don't I E you here? Right?
Yeah.
Like, I of course, I was thinking about it and I could have done it, but I didn't do it, right? On purpose here. But here, like, I could E you. This is what you'll do. This is the stuff that's going to happen when you play against bronze, silver, gold, platinum, Mordekaiser players. They're not going to use their abilities. But there's nothing stopping me from using EQ on you here, unless I want the wave to pull into me or something, which is completely fine. But based on the HP of this cannon and the HP of, like, you know, just the fact that the wave is in a spot in the cannon, the wave's still gonna come into me, right? But I could hit you with like a lot of abilities here, and it would be quite poor. So here, I don't know. I'm not doing anything. I'm just waiting. When do I make the error? I'm seeing when yeah, so here I purposely make the error. I don't hit you with Q. Right? Now I use Q. Mordekaiser Q is down. Minions are there, but there's only 3 casters and you're level 6 and you're Garen with pretty high HP. It doesn't really matter too much. So now you move in on me. You see this?
Yeah.
Silence. Also, don't stack your Q first. I think you have to go for E first here. Yeah, use your E first here. Okay? Because your E stacks Conqueror, and then you can use your Conqueror with Q, and then what you do is you break aggression through the north side bush. And then what I do is I use my E on you, I use my W on you, or I use my W on myself, but it doesn't matter because my main source of damage, which is my Q, is unavailable to me.
Yeah.
I level up E here accidentally, whatever, it doesn't matter. Right? And then you also have R, and you know my healing doesn't matter too much because you have Ignite, etc.
So the right trade pattern here would be like EQ for the speed up, and then once the E is over.
Well, no, E for the Conqueror, Q for the E for the Conqueror. You're already gonna get on me even without Q. I do believe.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I assume you would, right? You just walk up to me. I mean, yeah. I know that Mordekaisers can do something weird with your Q where they pull the enemy back. I don't know how to do that. I'm not a Mordekaiser player, but yeah. Anyways, regardless, it doesn't matter. The point is I use a cooldown, you're moving in. It's all that matters, okay? See how you win the trade against me? Now, if you do that again one more time, I'm dead. In fact, I'm dead right now. Actually, if you use my next rotation, I'm dead.
Okay.
Do you see how, like, yes, you're gonna have an issue in the lane, but do you see how like one mistake from the opposing side could actually turn the lane in your favor? So there is counterplay in this matchup. It just requires the opponent to make a mistake and for you to punish it. Right? In this case, we had to make an error for you to see this. I randomly queue again. Notice what I'm doing. Why? Like, in what world would I ever do this? I'm fighting you inside of the wave. I have no HP. I'm on cooldown. I'm taking aggro. This is stupid. But this is what plat, bronze, silver, gold Mordekaiser players do. Right? This is what they do. I'm just trying to replicate them as much as I can. But this is what they literally do. Right? And now here again, next rotate. Like here, you can flash, ignite, kill me. I really do believe you have the damage. Also, do not go boots. Well, actually, boots isn't that bad because Mordekaiser matchup. Yeah, I guess it's fine. Yeah.
Figured.
Yeah, I guess it's fine.
I mean, I was losing lane. I'm thinking Nimbus Cloak is the only other thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's acceptable that you go boots here, whatever. Yeah, and then I randomly use W again, right? I randomly use W to see if you would do anything. Randomly use QE, right? So here, like, I'm on cooldown. You don't have to beat this back. Walk up. Don't let me get these XP. Or don't let me walk up for these minions. You should be, like, the second I'm on cooldown, stand up to the north side bush here, and then chill here. Don't let me walk up. But you can only do that once you're aware. Like, look what I do here, right? I use my W randomly to show you that I've used my W. I use my Q. And now I'm like, whatever, you know what? I might as well just use E as well. Okay? Now that all of these cooldowns are down, you have all your cooldowns up. You don't have to immediately run me down with Q here. This is a spacing error. You don't have to Q here. You can stand up here and you can stand right over here. This next wave locks it over here for me, which actually isn't as beneficial for me as it might sound. And then what you're going to do is you're going to stand over here and you're just going to punish me for any time that I walk up. I'm not a champion for like 12 seconds.
Okay.
Okay? Anyways, eventually, you know, I'm trying to get you to kill me, but we do it so late, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't really playing this lane as if it was in normal lane.
It's okay. Well, I mean, you should. It's just a lane, you know. There's no difference. Anyway, so you must be aware of your cooldowns when you use them, or you must be aware of the cooldowns when the opponent uses them, because what you're gonna do afterwards is quite normal. It's quite easy to logically do. Right?
Gotcha.
Logically, it makes sense. Hey, this guy's on cooldown. What can he do in the lane? Well, he can't do anything. I'm gonna move up. Right? But the hard part is being consistently aware of when someone uses an ability versus when someone doesn't. Okay. Anyways, that's about it. I'm gonna stop the recording here.